Hey guys, today I'm coming at you with a video that's quite exciting to me because it is the conclusion of many months of hard work and collaboration with a ton of awesome people and brands to turn a vision into a reality. Behind me is my 2024 CFMOTO Zforce Sport 4, and it is fully built. I'm gonna show you guys how we took this machine from completely stock to completely not in the course of this video. So I'm hoping this video will be fun and informative for you guys to watch. I've been getting a ton of questions online about the parts I used, why I chose them, you know, where I got them, and all that information. So what I wanted to do is put together a video for you guys where I could answer the majority of those questions to the best of my ability. I hope you guys enjoy what I've put together for you today. This is by no means a how-to step-by-step video on installations and how to do all this. That would just take way too long. It would take forever. So this is more of a time-lapse sped-up version. I've done my best to condense this into a fun and easy-to-follow format. But as always, make sure you leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to address them all. And let me know what you think. I wanted to show you guys the work that went into getting it to this stage. And then once we've got that out, I'll start uploading the content of it in action because I know that's what you guys want to see. You guys know I have a pretty good track record of being unbiased. We've tested out a ton of machines, and you know, I plan on keeping this one for an extended period of time. So it will be a really good way to shake down this platform and see if it really has what it takes to compete with some of the bigger dogs in the industry. I'm coming into this with an open mind like I did with many of my previous projects. I would like it to do well, but I will not be sugarcoating anything. If things fail, you guys will see them fail, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna address it, we're gonna fix it, we're gonna try to improve on it. But for now, let's dive in. I'm standing here with Nick. You might recognize him from
Hey guys.
Some videos, right?
Yeah, I've been in some videos.
You got the Maverick Sport, the
yeah.
XMR,
yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna dig into this build. We have a ton of really cool stuff to put on the 2024 Zforce 950 Sport 4. I'm really looking forward to this. You've probably already seen this machine on the channel. We did a few things to it right when we got it. We did the 32-inch carnivores, we did the Bullite wheels, we did some wheel adapters, and we did a clutch kit. Aside from that, the machine is stock, and now we're going to dig into what I'm going to call phase one of our bigger build. I'm really looking forward to doing this. I've been planning it for a really long time. My goal was to start it a few months ago, but we just finally got all the parts we needed. First real modification we did is we installed a set of Fox shocks off of a Can-Am Maverick RC, XRC are they?
XRC, yes.
XRC,
yeah.
a 1000 XRC,
yeah.
It's a two-seater. So those are the shocks.
Crawling model.
The rock crawling model, yeah. So those are the shocks off that, and they're on our CFMOTO now. So before the Z10, there is a CFMOTO out there with Fox shocks, and we did it first. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is just totally stock still, so we're gonna valve these shocks. We're gonna put proper springs on them once we get the weights and everything dialed in. But for now, it's just set up enough to get the initial testing done and get all the rest of the parts on so that we can get everything else dialed in. Speaking of parts, we got a mountain of parts here. So Nick's gonna be friendly enough to help me unbox some of these parts. We're gonna do skid plates, we're gonna do a heater, a full enclosure, windshields, sound bars, lighting, everything we need to get this thing out on the trail and have a ton of fun with our families. All right, here we got it, the goodie pile.
It's pretty big, yeah.
We got a good mountain there.
Man.
So, I mean, the first thing we're gonna install, we're gonna start with the heater, an Inferno cab heater through our friends at 3-Star UTV. 3-Star makes the Enclosure we'll be running, but they are also an Inferno dealer because when you sell somebody an Enclosure, I think you're gonna almost pretty much assume that that person wants to stay warm.
Damn right.
And with an Enclosure, your next best friend is a heater. And if you're running windshields in the wintertime and you don't want that front windshield heating up, or I mean freezing up, the only way to prevent that is with a defrost. So you're holding the solution right there.
Yep.
We're gonna stay warm and toasty. Let's see what's in there. So Nick's gonna be doing the unboxing here.
Yeah, I'm the Vanna White of Adrenaline Junkies off-road. Oh, look at that, comes with
So yeah, Inferno cab heaters.
Oh, look at it, it came with the
Oh, I
instructions and
printed the
everything.
instructions for nothing.
What do the men do with instructions?
Well,
we just throw them away, don't we? You ready?
Ooh. From what I know is these Inferno heater kits are all designed in the United States, all manufactured in the US, and they use quality products, SPAL fans,
and all the ducting, everything is top notch. And the other cool thing is all these cab heaters, they all come with a vehicle specific mount. This is not a universal heater. It's their heater with the specific mount, so it bolts to the OEM location right under the dash. It is way smaller than I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty tiny.
Supposedly these things pump out a ton of heat, and then basically from what I've read through the instructions, the install is really straightforward on this machine. Looks quality though.
Yeah.
It's a nice SPAL fan. They're made in Italy. That's the same fans they run on the Razors for the Rads and stuff. It's small, isn't it?
It is compact.
We got a bunch of heater hose here to run it. We got our vents. Looks like we got all the other miscellaneous installation equipment, the hardware, yeah, some harness, some zip ties. All it's a really nice quality kit. Oh, here we have our defrost vent. All these vents go into OEM locations. So yeah, pretty sweet. Okay, we'll put that back in there. I'm super pumped about this. What's next here?
I don't know, what do you want?
Let's take a look at the enclosure, because the enclosure goes hand in hand with the heater. Make sure you dig that knife in there nice and deep to puncture what's inside. So this is from 3-Star UTV. They make enclosures for pretty much any machine out on the market.
Look at that, instructions are right there. You don't lose them.
That's a big roll of... Oh.
This is Velcro.
Yeah, so they use a lot of Velcro for on the cage to mount the various areas.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, which is easy.
There's no bars in here, eh?
No. Looks like they're all separated with paper so the windows don't scratch.
Oh.
This too, all made in the USA. All the 3-Star stuff. These are all handmade in the United States. Nice. Yeah, the front windows are huge on this thing.
Nice beefy zipper.
Yeah, the zippers are nice and big. I'm really looking forward to the enclosure. It's gonna be like the cherry on top. Yeah, let's just roll that up.
Oh.
Before we scratch them.
Yeah.
We can scratch them on the trail. Another thing we got a lot of here is lighting. So Novsite, as you can see there, they sent us a ton of different lighting for the build. Grab something off the pile. There's a light bar in that big box.
Yeah, you want to check out the
Start
light bar
with that,
first?
and then we'll check out their pod lights.
It's pretty heavy. This isn't no Amazon China deal like I run on my machine.
No, this is like a non-Amazon China.
But you know, you got to make your budget work somehow.
Dual relay setup on here. I wonder why. Oh, this light bar has like multiple modes and different colors. Yeah, cool. Full harness. Oh, interesting. On, off.
That's
probably those light bars that has amber and white. I have not seen this thing. It's the first time we're laying eyes on it. I'm hoping it fits on the roof.
Oh my. That's
Whoa, that's a neat look. So look at the LEDs are in the bottom.
Oh, are they?
See that? And they reflect, they go up and then reflect off. Oh, and then you can see the amp. Wow, that's actually really cool. That's a nice looking light bar, I gotta say.
Oh, I'm not that
Can you
tall.
reach? Oh yeah, that's a good size. Yeah, we'll make that work good. Perfect.
It feels good quality. You know, if something feels good quality, usually
You can tell a lot about a light bar by how it feels.
Yeah. Don't worry, this Can-Am guys know everything here.
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna work good. Hey dude, are you here to help?
Gotta give him a little white hat.
Yeah, he's the boss. How's it look, dude? Does it look okay? Yeah. Okay, make sure you check everything. Yeah, these are
6-inch pods.
Cyber 1. Wait till you see them. They only had them in orange. Yeah.
They're super bright. Oh, they come
They're
together.
huge.
Put them together.
Aren't they huge?
Those are huge. Almost as big as my face.
They look like they'll put out some serious light. They've also got multiple modes. They got like that crazy wire harness in here. Look at this harness.
Yeah. It is crazy.
That's a nice harness. Look at the connectors.
Yeah, I got something like that on my
The whips.
On my whips,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got these cool covers too.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I'm gonna put these. Stick them on the front there. Holy cow, they're massive.
They are pretty.
Where am I gonna put those? Maybe I'll just put them on the truck.
On the Ford?
Like, look how big they are. I didn't know they were that big.
Right here.
Oh, we got a camera girl now.
Oh, we got a camera going
Oh
now.
yeah, sweet. Just figuring out where we're gonna put all these parts is gonna be hard.
You want me to have it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's open some of these. Look, so these are the regular pods
Right on. Look at that. Oh, those are like baby.
compared to those other ones, yeah. But they're nice too. These will fit places. Right there, or up here somewhere. That'd be nice.
Oh, I got two now.
They're nice looking.
You've been drinking? You're stumbling all over the spot.
They're nice looking lights. AJ, what do you think? Here.
Reminds me of the
You like it?
pod that goes in the
Yeah?
the Iron Man suit. You say
But they come with orange covers too. Amber. That's cool.
what are the orange covers supposed to do?
Just make the amber light. We got the rock lights here.
Oh, I'm kind of interested in these.
Yeah. Let's see. Nice big wiring harness. Oh, that's an interesting remote. And then here's the rock lights. All sealed. Yeah, cool. Aluminum housing. Rock lights are fun. I like them. They make the machine look sweet at night. They're pretty functional if you're trying to work on something too.
Yeah. Even just to see your tire at night.
Man,
like it gets pretty dark out in the bush.
They absolutely suck to wire.
Yeah, they look like it.
Not because it's hard to wire them, because it's all like these like quick connect clips. It's just, it takes forever.
Yeah,
you gotta run the wire, then you gotta zip tie it all.
What's going on? You wanna go in? You wanna go in?
This one is some sort of camping
Battery.
light. I think it's just like a flashlight. They make, these guys from Novsite also make overlanding gear, like they make rooftop tents and other stuff like that. So this is more of that line. I think it's just like a lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, what? Oh, and then you can put the...
You screw that on it?
Neat. That's interesting.
USB. Oh. Ooh.
A lantern, like a camping lantern.
This one do.
Color.
Oh.
Oh, so you can do both.
White and yellow.
Yeah, let's turn them both on. See, so it's two different LEDs. It's pretty bright, actually.
All I'm seeing is spots now.
Yeah.
Well, what's
like- Oh,
is
there's
that
another
not,
one?
Is that not a light at the bottom?
Yeah, that is too. How do you turn that one on? Oh, there's a button.
Oh,
Oh, there's a red light. Oh, neat.
that is neat.
Cool. That's kind of neat. It's all. I mean, you can never have too much light
No.
when you're working on stuff
Oh,
or
what-
you're camping.
Out in the dark in the bush, man, you need it.
Yeah, you hang that from your shock when you're working on your Can-Am because it broke down on the trail.
Hey. Yeah, I've been drove with a Polaris guy and we had to do a trailside fix for
Hey,
him.
it happens. It happens. And then we've got the whips. So I don't know if we're going to use them all. Here we have the Team MSC alien lights, or the laser whips, or whatever you want to call them. They basically just mount up and they project a beam that catches the mist, catches the dust, catches all the particles in the air, and it looks like a whip basically, but it's not really dangling around there. They're pretty popular now. I've been wanting to put these on for a while, so we'll find a spot on this build to incorporate these. Now we've got a lot of lighting here. We've got a lot of components here. I think naturally some of them won't end up on the machine because we don't need two 40-inch light bars. We don't need 8 pods on it. So we're gonna use what works best. And then obviously with the leftovers, they'll either trickle down to the other machines in the crew or they'll trickle down onto the other machines in the fleet. I mean, we can always find a place to put them. None of this stuff is super exciting. We're just gonna quickly go through it when you're looking at it. It'll look a lot better once it's on the machine, and we'll do some close-ups then.
So we got some whips here. What are these? Three footers?
These are 4-footers, I think.
4-footers?
Yeah, these
Yeah.
are through Team MSC.
Nice.
But it's a CFMOTO whip.
Is it?
Yeah. So, but
Oh,
they're,
you got your remote?
yeah, nice remote. These are RGB, so they're like a bazillion different colors.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. I don't know if these are going to end up on this build because of the laser lights and all that. I mean, there's a line you got to watch out. You don't cross with the lighting, right?
Yeah.
That gets you into Honda Civic Rice mode. They do look cool at night, though.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, so we'll
Came with the American flag.
yeah, I think they come with an
America.
American flag, and I don't know if there's a different flag in there too. Quality on these actually, they just being in the box here looks decent.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll take them out. We'll take a peek at them. If they end up getting installed, the true
Well, I mean-
quality we'll see if we'll see how many rides they survive. Right here we've got another light bar. This is an MSC 40-inch.
Packages seen better days.
We're probably gonna end up running that Novsite light bar.
Yeah, that one's
But
nice.
Originally, I got this one because it's a nice fit for the roof. So we'll see which one fits better. That's what it's going to come down to. That's the one I've got on my Razor. The blue comes off, obviously.
Yeah, it's just a protective film.
Protective film. But yeah, these light bars, you know what? If you go on the MSC website, they're quite cheap. And they throw out a lot of light. That one doesn't have a harness or anything like that. They also make these smaller ones here. We can find a place for one of these.
Be a good backup light.
Yeah, a good backup light or something. So this is like a 8-inch. I think that's the 6-inch there. On the Battle Wagon here, I think we have like a 30 or a 32-inch. That's the MSC light bar. It works well. And it's a low pro design.
Got 42 on my Can-Am.
42. Wow.
42.
A curved one?
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got next here? Why don't we open up that exhaust system? Well, let's take a look at that CFMOTO soundbar. This is one of their newer Midnight 60s. I think they make one that's a model up from this as well.
Holy smokes, that's huge.
Yeah, so this is not the biggest one. There's one bigger than this.
There's one bigger than this?
Yeah, the Midnight 80, I think it's called. And this one's got lights on it and everything. It's pretty cool. So I think the Midnight 80 just has 2 extra speakers on it.
Yeah. It's nice quality.
Yeah,
it does have an LED bar on the back of it.
Yeah, and on the sides there's LED lights too.
And on the back, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we should be able to find a spot inside somewhere to mount that. You know what? I was thinking about getting speakers and stuff like that, but I'm not huge into the audio in these things, and I think if I do want some music, this soundbar will create more than enough sound for me.
As soon as you put a louder exhaust on it, it kind of drowns out the music anyway, so you can't really hear it.
I feel the only time you're really using the music is if you stop somewhere to hang out, have a drink or a bonfire or something, then you're like in party mode. You got a muff pot there. I mean, that's self-explanatory, isn't it? You gotta have your hot dogs on the go.
Yeah, hot dogs on the go.
We've got a side-by-side glue tread kit there because also we're not carrying a full-size spare or anything like that. So that should be able to solve any sort of sidewall issue we run into. So there you've just got, I've got some hardwire kits for a USB-C and a regular USB plug. So just in case you want to plug in some batteries to charge or a phone, it's nicer to have.
That is a good idea, yeah.
Oh yeah, right there is just a standard Rotopax mount. I've got some extra Rotopax cans, so I figure, you know what, maybe we'll find a nice spot to put that. It's always nice to have some extra fuel. This is just a care package that came from Power Sports Nation.
Oh, nice.
So the guys at Power Sports Nation were the one who hooked us up with the Fox shocks for this machine. And they sent us those shocks, and I linked up with Power Sports Nation. All thanks to my buddy Michael Sabo. If you don't follow him on YouTube, check him out.
Open in case of emergency.
Is it all 10 mils?
It looks like it.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Lucky number 13.
That's cool. So yeah, there's some PSN stickers in there. Check them out online. If you're wondering what Power Sports Nation is, it is basically the biggest power sports wrecking yard in North America. Dude, burnout. We're trying to work here. You doing burnout? Yeah, buddy, light them up, light them up. We got the GGB here. So I'm super pumped about the GGB system. You guys know we've been rocking the GGB exhaust for a while now on the channel. They've been a channel supporter for a while. They use this machine to prototype this system, which is super cool. So we just got that. The production models just came out. So they prototyped it based off that. We got a GGB for this thing that was prototyped based off that machine. And we got a GGB on that thing, which they also use that machine to prototype the system, which is pretty cool.
That is
so
cool.
Let's rip it open.
Product development.
All these GGB systems are handmade and designed and developed here in Canada. North American made quality.
They're in Canada?
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like Canadian companies.
Nice, full stainless, no packing, no service, lifetime product right there.
No packing?
No, it's a fully baffled, fully welded, full stainless steel muffler construction.
Nice.
Yep, look at that. Heck yeah, and you're seeing it, guys. Obviously, they went to the dual exits.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep, so pretty sweet.
They got spark arresters in there?
Yeah, they do. I'm really excited to hear this thing because these systems sound really good on the CFMOTOs. The other system we have sounds great, so I'm really excited to hear this one. Iceco, we got some Iceco boxes here. So we've got an Iceco power pack here to go with this Iceco fridge freezer setup. So originally, guys, I was planning on having this build done much sooner, so we were going to unveil it before winter. But that never happened. So this fridge and freezer is kind of a little poorly timed, for lack of better terms. The goal is, in phase 2, we'll be doing a bunch of other mods for this machine to make it better for longer trail riding, overlanding, stuff like that. That's where this cooler comes in. Originally, we were gonna do it all in one hit, but since we're breaking into the phases, the cooler is actually part of phase 2, but we're gonna show it to you guys right now. The team at Icicle were nice enough to send us this. They make some really, really quality stuff. The fit and finish is really nice. They use German-made compressors in these. They are designed to be used off-road. They work at weird angles. They're very low power draw. Off of that little battery, this fridge will run about 5-ish hours. Off a bigger battery, or if you hardwire it, you can just indefinitely run it non-stop. They come in a variety of different sizes, colors, options, outfits, from full freezer to split to designs where you can change it from fridge or freezer. Oh yeah, that's right. When you give a man the option for brushed stainless steel, I mean, it's hard not to, right? Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
Yeah, it's almost too nice to use. Why don't we open it up and let's see what's in there. Oh. Nice. So the compressor sits under here. This could be your freezer section. This is your fridge. And you can also switch it so that it's all freezer or all fridge. Super cool. Yeah, really nice. They make a lot of different designs in these. This is the APL 35. And the reason we went with the APL 35 is strictly because I wanted to keep things smaller. And you know what, this is more than enough. I got this in mind with, like, we're going out for a family camping trip. Like, we want to do a picnic. You know, we can put our meat and stuff in there. We don't have to worry about, like, sloshing of, like, you know, cooler water and stuff like that.
Getting soaked.
So we're going to find a cool place to incorporate that into our build. But we'll kind of have to wait and see how things go before. It's tough with this stuff, you know?
It is.
You know, until you start really digging into it, you can plan all you want, and then by the time, you know, what you have on paper and what you end up with are usually two completely different things, right?
Or you end up running out of space.
Supposedly this thing can be exposed to water and mud and stuff like that. I mean, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? There's no way we can submerge, but when we take this won't always be living in the machine. When we go out and use this, it's usually not going to be like a ride where we're going mud bogging. It's going to be more of a scenic ride, right? Oh, so all the plugs are there? Cool, nice,
right there.
nice digital display. Looks like we got the plugins, USB. Cool. We'll fire this thing up later on in the series, and we'll give you guys the lowdown on it. I'm really pumped about it. What's in there?
What's in this box?
That's the wiper for the front windshield.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Next thing we're going to open is from Bent Metal Off-Road. We're going to open their front and rear glass windshields for the CFMOTO Zforce Sport 4 or the Zforce Sport, and these just hit the market. We just got these because they were just became available, and I'm really pumped about these guys. The fit and finish and the quality of these windshields from what I saw online is just next level. This is a really key point of our build. Wow, that's nice. So this is the wiper kit, and oh, look at that harness.
That is nice.
That is quality.
It's got a Can-Am switch on here. You
US developed kit as well, out of Utah. We have our wiper motor here.
That's
right.
Pretty
so
light too.
They've got interior lights on it.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about attention to detail, man.
So does this go on the bottom or on the top?
I think it goes on the top, judging by the light. That's pretty badass. Oh. And it covers the sweep is like it's like a 180 degree sweep.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
So it covers the whole windshield. I'm really excited to check out the windshields now. I'm really impressed with the loom and the quality of that.
That is nice.
I'll be honest, the windshields and the wiper kit are not cheap, but when you compare them to everything else on the market, I did not see anything that came near. So I'm really got high hopes for these. So let's dig into them. I'm really excited about these.
Fragile?
Yeah, fragile.
Probably the rear, right?
I'm assuming the rear is smaller.
Yeah.
I like the staples. That's the rear, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
You want me to try to pull it out?
Yeah, if you can.
There's two windshields here, though.
Yeah, it's really neat how they've got it. So it's glass in the rear. When I saw they offered a rear glass, I just had to have it. Got all the saran wrap off here, and we are left with a really interesting kind of two-piece glass window for the rear with a big bend in it. I don't know what you can really see here, but once it's mounted, you'll get a better idea.
Yeah, it seems to follow the roll cage, eh?
You can see the cage here really flares out there, and it rides that. So it makes it kind of difficult. I mean, I think their design is cool. I can't wait to get these on there. We're digging into the last part here. This is the front windshield, saving the best for last. The rear was awesome. The packaging on these, I gotta say,
Yeah, it's
also top notch.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, there's a note. Oh no, just more info.
Yeah, there's that.
Look at
You don't have to drill.
Doesn't look very see-through to me, does it?
No.
So if you guys are wondering why there's delays, unfortunately this windshield is shattered, which is really a pain in the butt because getting it here to Canada really sucks.
Yeah, it looks like something hit right there too.
Something hit it, yeah.
I wonder if it's on the box.
Is it on the box? Is there box damage?
No. It would have been like right here. Or did I turn it?
I don't know. There's no real box damage.
No.
That sucks.
That does suck.
I'm assuming they're gonna want me to get the glass replaced because sending another one here, the shipping on these is crazy. I got it shipped to the States, but getting it shipped here with duty and everything,
Yeah.
shipping it back, it's just not worth it.
No.
Might just have to go to a glass shop. Well, here it is. Unfortunately, our windshield is broken. And it's weird. The box isn't damaged. There's no impact marks here. It's spidering out from in there. First step here is we're gonna take off the stock skid plate. Now, Nick, when you look under there, dude, does it look like it's bent in or is it just contoured like that?
It's bent in. It actually looks like my Maverick's like that too.
Is it just, it's not bent in, is it? It's just like, it's supposed to be like that.
It's supposed to be like that, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this stock skid plate's got a couple of rides, one trip to Tennessee, some lighter trails, and it looks like there's a bit of damage.
Nothing major.
No,
No, like carnage.
no, nothing that raises much concern. So we do have a trail armor skid plate to put on here, but we're gonna peel this whole skid plate off first because that's required, or at least part of it has to come off to do the heater. And in our case, all of it has to come off because we're gonna do the upgrade. But we won't be putting the skid plate back on until near the end because I wanna run some wiring and stuff like that.
Speaking of wiring, I think I must have run a mile of wire in this thing, especially being the 4-seater chassis. There was almost not enough room to mount all my accessories, my relays. I mounted a fuse panel to the right there, as you can see, up above the battery, so that I could wire all my accessories and fuse them there and keep everything clean. And then I ran most of the wiring through the main center tunnel up to the front. And I just have to stress, guys, you know, heat shrink your wiring, make sure all the connectors are on there good, do a really good job, 110% your first time, label your wires, you know, mark them appropriately, loom them appropriately, route them appropriately, zip tie them out of the way so they don't chafe and rub or cause any damage to other components or get caught up in anything. Because really, you don't want to be chasing wiring gremlins in one of these. They get wet, they heat cycle. You don't want electrical issues. It's going to cost you so much more time. It's better to spend the time up front. Another issue I ran into, never having worked on a 4-seater, is every single wiring harness I got was like 6 or 7 inches too short to get to the dash, which was a pain in the ass. So here you see me making wiring harness extensions. The best way to do this is just get yourself some multi-strand wire. You can get various types. You can get wire with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colored strands inside of it, different wires in it, different gauges, and that just helps you keep everything contained. And it comes in this nice like rubber sheathing, and then I just heat shrink everything and then wrap it up with some electrical tape to be safe. And definitely label everything, because later on it's all going to look the same, and in a year when you come back here to change something, fix something, or switch something up, you want to know what wires are where, and you're going to hate yourself if you don't wire them. So here you see me using the heat shrink connectors, the butt connectors. I've had good luck with these, and then I just use a little pencil torch to melt them together. And then, as you can see, just the electrical tape over top and more labeling. Label, organize, spend extra time now so that you save yourself a lot of time later, and definitely make sure you zip tie everything together, because with the vibrations in these machines, you'd be surprised at how things can rub through if they're just dangling and hanging there. And then when you put the cover back on, make sure you don't squish anything or crimp anything, because you don't want to cause any issues. You don't want an electrical fire, or you don't want water leaking into those connectors anywhere and then causing havoc. If you've never done much wiring in the past, keep in mind that this 12-volt wiring, it's very, very simple. For the most part, it's usually just 2 wires, a positive and a negative, going most places. So, you know, if it's your first time, watch some videos, do a bit of reading online, and it's nothing you can't handle. As far as what I'm doing here and cleaning up this rat's nest, this is easy too. Just take your time, you know, don't rush it. Think it through, think about future adding stuff, think about, you know, getting access to it, to maintaining it, running it all out of the way, keeping it looking nice and clean, and you'll be very satisfied with your wiring job down the line, and it won't cause you any issues. Here I'm just unpacking a bunch of CFMOTO crafted OEM accessories. CFMOTO Canada was nice enough to send me this care package, which included a set of these Nerf bars, a front bumper, a rear bumper, as well as their snorkel kit for the air intake on the engine and the air intake on the CVT. The bumpers give the machine a much nicer look, much more rugged, and I really love the snorkel setup. It was super easy to install, and I love the way it looks. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the multi-piece front bumper design. I would prefer one unit, but I know for shipping purposes, they'll probably be breaking them up and making them modular like this. I know Polaris and Can-Am also do similar things. This approach allows for flat packing the items, kind of like you see in an IKEA warehouse. Overall, these accessories are very easy to install. Here you're just seeing a few more shots of the Inferno cab heater. It's a really nice setup. The installation process was pretty straightforward. It did take me most of the day, and it was a little tough to access some of the areas, especially if you're a bigger guy. I'm 6'4", and I had to bend myself in ways I didn't think I could bend to get it in there. But once it's all positioned and all the tubing is run, it really does fit nicely, and it does work well. I did find it was a little difficult to bleed. I had to pop a few of the lines off and burp them, but after taking it for a good ride and bleeding it once or twice, the heat started to flow really nicely. Here you can see the SPAL made in Italy fan, as I mentioned before. All the components are very quality. The instructions were very well laid out. It shows you where to cut, and everything fit up really nice after I made all the cuts into the dash. One thing I will mention is that they did not send enough heater hose to run from the front and the back to the machine, so I had to go online and buy an extra length to make it work. However, everything else was great, and I recommend this kit. I must admit, Novesight was not a company I was familiar with until they had reached out to me just prior to this build, and I am really happy I decided to work with them. The quality of these lighting products are very, very nice. The light output is nice, the tech behind it is nice, the fit and finish, everything is really good, and I'm very satisfied with how these lights turned out and how they work. While I was speaking to the team at Novesight, they did inform me that they are one of the largest LED light manufacturers in Asia. And I must say, their products are very high quality. They're some of the nicest LED lighting products I've seen in a while, especially at this price point. I'm hoping I get a long service life out of all these products. Mic Tuning is a company I've had a relationship with for quite a few years now. I really like these C3 rock lights. They're pretty big, they're RGB, they have a bunch of different modes, and I've had a set of them on the Battle Wagon for over 3 years now without any issues. And when you factor in the price point, they're priced really cheap in comparison to many of the other products on the market with a very good quality. This is the 16 pod set, and you can get a variety of different pod set sizes. Keep in mind, these are not pre-harnessed, so you have to wire each one of them individually. This does allow more flexibility and a cleaner overall install. I ended up installing 10 pods. I also installed the Midnight 60 series soundbar from CFMOTO under the roof. Once I was done with all that, I moved around back, pulled off the stock rear bumper, and then got the stock muffler out of the way to make room for the new GGB system. The stock muffler is way bigger and heavier than the aftermarket system. The GGB exhaust systems don't just sound better, they also look a lot better. The way they went to the dual side exits gives the machines a really aggressive look. At this stage, I'm still working on installing the rock lights, so I'm not going to reinstall that GGB exhaust yet, but just look at how much nicer it is than that ugly stock muffler. Here you see me test fitting the windshield to make sure the wiper motor lines up properly and getting all the wiring in place. As you can see, I've had the glass replaced at an auto glass shop, and it looks a lot better without that big spidered crack. I'll have to pull this windshield in and out a few more times before the build is complete, and that's just kind of what you have to do when you're doing something custom like this. I'm also taking the opportunity now to test fit the rear glass here, and it looks absolutely awesome.
Hey guys, so as you know, obviously we've been working on this build. I'm waiting on a key component for this build that it's been a little bit delayed, partially my fault, some logistical issues, some other unforeseen delays as always. But that's getting the wrap from Big Print Company in Mississippi to here. The wrap has arrived. it just didn't arrive at my house. So I guess there was like some sort of an issue. It ended up getting shipped to like a place across town randomly. Anyways, long story short, found out where it is. It's laying outside based on the FedEx delivery update. So I'm gonna hop in the truck and I'm gonna go try and save this thing. Right now it looks like it's buried in snow on somebody's patio. So hopefully I can get there before anyone else does and we can recover the wrap. So join me along. This is an unforeseen adventure in this build. I was not expecting a recon mission. With that being said though, nothing, absolutely nothing in this build has gone according to plan so far. Everything has either been delayed or messed up. That was like, you know, we started off with the broken windshield and parts not getting here, you know, getting lights that were the wrong ones we ordered, you know, getting something that was supposed to work that didn't work, then getting the windshield fixed and the place we took it to had issues, so we had to take it to another place, and then that and that, blah, 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 one thing after another. Then we had other logistical delays because of Christmas. Then there was logistical delays because of Chinese New Year. And here we are, almost ready to get a machine done for the start of March that I was planning on launching around Christmas, with my kind of backup date being New Year's launch.
Right, we found it. Here's my package. Here's where it ended up. It all looks good inside.
Awesome, so the wrap was there. The wrap was undamaged. The box was a little soggy, but everything inside was safe. I got the wrap laid out inside on the floor, getting it all straightened out and warmed up so that it's at operating temperature. Getting this thing warmed up, or blowing the warm air at it. I can definitely feel it's feeling nicer to the touch. The heater's been on for a few hours. It's pretty warm in here. I gotta take my sweater off because I'm gonna be cooking it. You wanna make sure you have some decent working temperatures. You don't wanna do this in extreme hot and humid conditions, and you don't wanna do this in overly cold conditions. However, personally, if I'm working with wrap, slightly cooler is better than slightly too warm. I feel the adhesive likes to be a little bit more forgiving and let go a bit better when it's cooler. When it's too hot, you get really, really tacky, and yeah, it just sticks to everything. You can run into other issues. But we don't need to nerd out about wraps. I've done a few of these in the past, so I'm really looking forward to installing this one. I've never done a 4-seater, and the coverage on this wrap is supposed to be absolutely amazing. I've got the wrap laid out here on the table. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, I got a really good deal on it. It doesn't look like there's enough to cover the whole machine, but the guy online told me it's deceiving. And once you get it on there, he said you'll get good coverage. So yeah, let's take this and let's get out there and get this thing installed. Oh right, the wrap's over here. It's for my little guy's GT Snow Racer. Come on. So there we have it. Yep, that's the wrap. That is obviously, as you can see, gray and black camouflage with a matte over laminate. It's gonna look sweet. If I'm not mistaken, there's 12 sheets. Super nice quality. Man, the print quality and like the detail, it is crisp. All right, guys, let's get started. First of all, before we can get the wrap on, we need to make sure all the old decals are off. So we're gonna peel these off. So we got one here, one on each door, one in the back corner, and then there's 2 on the hood here. It's not too bad. These look like they're gonna come off pretty easy. I think they will. This is textured plastic. If you know anything about vinyl or stickers, you know that textured plastic is like your worst enemy. It's weird. Look at it. Nice. No adhesive left over at all. I'm not expecting these to come off that easy though, because they're on smooth, like painted plastic. This textured stuff, man, it's hard. I'm hoping the wrap sticks nice because all this stuff is textured. The adhesive on the wrap is also, it's much thicker, so it should be able to get in all those little dimples and grooves and hold on well. As long as you clean everything and prep it right, it's got to be clean. Feels kind of wasteful to just get rid of these nice OEM stickers. I'm gonna have to find a place to put these. Yeah, well, let's put them on the hoist. I got like a sticker collage going on here. There's some of my old wrap on there. Why don't we add some CFMOTO? It'll help hold that one on. Memories. This Zforce sticker is nice. I really should try to save that. So honestly, you shouldn't be able to peel this stuff off this easy. Like these ones, if you hit that on an angle with a pressure washer, especially on a cooler day, that would peel right off probably. I hate it when you gotta be careful washing your machine because you're scared the decals are gonna fly off. Yeah, it looks like this one's gonna come off too. Okay, let's see if we can get this off of here in one piece without leaving any adhesive behind. Now, I know a lot of people like to use a heat gun, and I will if I need to. But right now, I'm hoping I might get away without needing to. Just grabbing a fresh new razor blade.
The key to this is taking your time. It's attention to detail, and it's about pulling straight back, not pulling up, but you want to pull the vinyl off. Watch the angle I'm pulling on. I'm keeping it low and close to the door, and I'm also trying to make sure I pull it all evenly. If you start tugging at it, it might rip and tear, and then you're trying to pull the sticker off in multiple pieces, and it just makes it harder. You get adhesive residue, and it just adds more time at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, nice. One piece. I'm gonna stick this on the other side of the hoist. Wow, that looks a lot different just without that one decal. Now we'll do the same on this side. There's always a better direction to peel a sticker in, so just take a look at it. This one's definitely better to peel from this side, just because of how it's laid out. And this one here, I'll peel it I'll peel it this way. This one looks like it's already coming up, lifting up here in the corner. Let's see, yeah, this corner's lifting from the factory. It's already a bit of dust under there. It wasn't applied on there. Like, it looks like someone didn't press it down around the edges. That would definitely come off with the pressure washer too. Look how easy that came off. Nice. Yeah, it'll go. Gotta say, these are coming off really nice. Really nice. This can really be a headache sometimes. There's one more little sticker hiding right here. It just says CF1000SC3L. I don't know what that is. Some sort of part number or something. Actually, there's also these reflectors here, and I mean, it depends what you feel like about these. These are stuck on with like this weird honeycomb adhesive. Like, it's made to not come off well, but doesn't look like anything really likes to stick to this textured plastic. It looks like there's some Mississippi mud under there actually. Everything comes off it pretty darn nice. I'm assuming the wrap is going to be covering that. And like I said earlier, I'm hoping the wrap sticks a lot better than this. And I'm expecting it will.
Those reflector stickers can be notoriously difficult because they tear apart and leave a lot of residue behind. Luckily, that wasn't the case here.
I'm peeling these stickers off here and I can smell gasoline, like petroleum. I'm like, what the heck is that? The adhesive on these CFMOTO stickers, oh, it smells so good. It's like 80s or 90s adhesive. You know, you remember those permanent markers as a kid? You just couldn't get enough of them. Oh man, I think I'm gonna sniff this sticker. Maybe I should lick it. All joking aside, yeah, I don't know what kind of adhesive they're using, but it smells like they're using the good chemicals. Okay, last one here. Look at that. All blacked out. Just these two guys left up here. Looks good like that. Oh yeah, whew, that's stinky. Oh man, I don't know what they're using on that. I probably should stop sniffing that though. Sorry, I'm a 90s kid. That's how I identify chemicals. It's never hurt me before. It's not like I'm weird or anything. Yeah, I might have a twitch here and there, but I mean, hey, that can't be the chemicals, is it? Yeah, it's like, obviously to any of you guys watching, I know I got a twitch. I mean, trust me, I spend enough time on video watching myself to know that I'm kind of a weird looking dude, right? So, the weird part is, You guys are the ones here watching. I mean, does this make me more weird or you? I don't know. Just like when you paint, prep work is arguably the most important part of getting a wrap to go on like it should and stay on like it should. All the technology that goes into these adhesives can only work if it's adhering to something clean. Pretty common sense, I know. Common sense ain't very common, is it? A little bit of leftover adhesive there, I'm just rubbing it out. If there's any more on your application, then just get a good citrus-based adhesive remover. Make sure it's citrus-based. It smells like oranges when you use it. They work the best.
Make sure you do a really good job wiping every part of the machine down and that you don't leave any lint behind with the rag.
We have a blank canvas. Black is always the best color to start with for a wrap. I mean, for the most part. The darker colors usually work better, but black is a good one. Let's get started. I always love starting from the hood. It's kind of like symmetrical, it's flat, and it's rewarding. I like doing sections because then it lets me line everything up really nice. So let's dig in. I'll do the first section here just kind of real time, but then we'll jump into the time lapse and you guys can watch this thing evolve. Okay, here we have it, the first piece going on the hood. This is all air release vinyl.
I want to show you this first section in real time so that you can get an understanding of how much effort goes into this and you know, the fact that you might have to peel and stick a piece over and over again to get it just perfect, even if you've done it a few times. And if you're new to it, don't get frustrated. It's okay to peel and stick this vinyl multiple times. You won't damage it. And make sure you get those panels on real straight, because if you mess up the first panel, every panel that touches it will be off as well.
Gotta find a reference point somewhere here. Ooh, that's tacky. Maybe we can start from the top here.
As I mentioned, find a good reference point, a corner or a nice straight line or a curve somewhere where you can do the spacing evenly. And if you can get one piece of the panel lined up, usually the rest of the panel will fall into place. Unless you're doing this stuff on a really regular basis, don't expect to nail it your first time. Expect that you're gonna peel and stick these pieces over and over again to get it perfect. And seriously, focus on getting it perfect, because later on it'll pay off, and if you don't, you will regret it. These wraps are not cheap. Also, remember, the adhesive is pressure sensitive, so as long as you don't rub it and press it down, you should be able to peel it. Stuff like this isn't for everyone. If you know you're gonna get frustrated and fed up and you don't want to do it, or you're gonna half-ass it, go to a reputable vinyl shop. There's many of them around these days. Automotive wraps are popular. There's lots of places that should have a track record and be able to apply a wrap like this with ease for you, and it shouldn't be too expensive, usually somewhere in the $500 range, I would guess. But don't quote me on that. Ask whoever you bought the wrap from what they think it should cost to install it, or if they have a recommended installer. I enjoy doing this stuff. You know, I'm a little OCD, so I find pleasure in these monotonous tasks. You know, it's kind of like mowing the lawn. When you look back on what you did, it is pretty rewarding to see all the work you accomplished.
A little bit off.
If you've seen other videos online where whoever's installing the wrap makes it look like it's simple, just keep in mind, you know, it's easy to alter the end result on camera, especially cutting stuff like this. I could have cut all this out and just showed you the last time where I nailed it, and you would have thought you suck and I was really good and it's easy. Don't fall for that stuff. This literally is one of those things that takes a lot of time, and yeah, obviously you can get better at it when you get used to a material or you do a specific car or machine multiple times. You do learn some tricks, but it's never as easy as it looks on the video, especially if you're watching a short reel and someone's condensed hours of work into minutes. That's the main reason I wanted to show you how much time you can spend on a couple panels. And as you go on with the job, you will get quicker because you kind of get, you know, warmed up to the material and you get into the flow of things, and you do pick up pace. And naturally, certain panels will be much easier than others, and other panels will be more complex. Here we have multiple spots to line up, as well as a big radius to line up, and another panel that needs to butt up right against it. So it's very important to nail these ones. It's also a key focal point of the machine, since it's the hood and it's a part a lot of people see and a lot of people pay attention to. I know this is going to sound common sense, but I just want to say it. Make sure your hands are clean, make sure they're spotless, and clean them throughout the job so that you don't transfer contaminants onto the adhesive.
Yep, that's lining up really nicely. Now I know people say you can wet apply, dry apply. I like to try and dry apply these. I feel they stick better. And it's pretty easy to work with this material even dry, to be honest.
When I was talking to Christian at the big print company later on, he told me that this vinyl is supposed to be dry applied, just so that you know. And he also told me that pretty much all of these power sports vinyls should be dry applied. You can use a squeegee or a wrap glove for this. I just like using my hands, especially on these off-road applications. I feel I got a better feel for it. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's not a car. If you put a little scratch or some swirl into it, you don't care. We're going to take these things through the mud and through the bush and scratch them up anyways. So, you know, don't worry about slight little imperfections. The rubbing and the pressure is what really activates that adhesive. And as you can see, there's little bubbles and wrinkles in there. And with this being a air release product, you just work the air out and it goes smooth. Look at that. Like, you'd think that that would crease. If it was a sticker years ago, you'd have a huge crease there, but this vinyl is magical stuff, the way it's able to conform. And if you have any issues with it, you just need to hit it with a little bit of a heat gun, and it's got memory. It's basically gonna go back to how it started. You can get rid of the little wrinkles and the creases, but you know, I spent a lot of time getting this panel, but boy, oh boy, was I happy. I nailed it. This was a really nice application, and I think at the end, well worth the time invested. Because later on, when I put the next panel on, it butts up perfectly, and the reward it gives you, it makes the effort worth it. If applying this vinyl isn't your thing and you don't want to sit here, feel free to skip ahead until we get through the vinyl portion. In a moment, we're going to jump to time-lapse, and I'm going to time-lapse through the rest of the vinyl application process so it moves along a lot faster and a lot more kind of rewarding in front of your eyes. I'll also talk you through some of the key points. But the side panels were significantly easier. And like I said, as you go on, things do get easier. But look at how those panels butted up. It looks like it's one piece. Check out that seam line above the CFMOTO logo. You can barely tell that's two pieces of vinyl. And, you know, that shows how quality this wrap is, the template. But, I mean, it also shows that the attention to detail in installing it is well worth it. These side panels, the door panels, are much easier than the hood, specifically because, you know, when you're on the hood, you're also working against gravity. Here, it's a lot easier to kind of hold that vinyl off the door rather than it constantly trying to fall and stick. But pay attention here, line everything up nice, and then you'll see that I'm not really sticking things down hard until I get all the panels placed, so I can make sure they all line up together. You saw me with the drill there. I was just putting some dimples in where the pre-marked spots from CFMOTO are, so that I can easily locate the Nerf bar mounting locations for the hardware later on. But see, I haven't pushed those panels down yet. I'm trying to figure out which ones need to overlap, which ones need to go under, and then making sure everything lines up. And then when I'm positive with my placement and I'm happy, that's when I apply the pressure, and that's when I finalize it. I'm no longer working with my past wrap designer, Barrett Hepburn, because we had a falling out and he was a little bit unprofessional. I'll leave it at that. No hate, nothing like that. But, you know, certain people work well together. Sometimes things don't work out. And I just moved on. I've had a really good experience working with Christian from Big Print Company, and I highly recommend him. It's been very, very smooth. He's a good designer. He live designs. He takes all your feedback. And this is the first wrap we designed together. But since this wrap, Christian and I have developed or designed 2 more wraps together: a new wrap for the Battle Wagon and a new wrap for my daughter's machine, the Razor 200. And you guys will be seeing those in future upcoming content. So, you know, if you're looking for someone to design your wrap, then I recommend reaching out to him. I mean, talk to him, see if he's your guy. And he's quite honest and open. If he thinks he can do it, he'll let you know. If he thinks he can't, then he'll also let you know. But just pay attention to this. Like, look at the fit and finish of this wrap, the layout, the design. It's all very, very nice. So, you know, just as important as the material is on a wrap and the person you're working with, the template itself is very important, and different artists have different access to templates. Some templates are, you know, very controlled in a sense where, you know, they don't let them come out. You have to purchase them, or you can't even purchase them. Some designers and artists develop their own templates, and it's proprietary. And then there's other companies that specialize in templates online, so the artists will buy them, or they'll share templates if they work together, or they'll perfect a template that's out there to make it work the way they like it. So do your research, read reviews, talk to other people that have the wraps done, and don't just go to the first place you see to get a wrap. It's a piece of art, and it needs time, and it needs love, and it needs creativity, and they're not cheap, so make sure you get what you paid for. This panel here is probably one of my favorite pieces of the wrap, the I'm okay, not okay thing. I just think it's hilarious, and Christian came up with the concept, and then we decided to put it there, and we thought it'd be funny because, you know, I've rolled machines many times in the past, and it just kind of comes with the territory. When you're sending it, sometimes it happens. So we thought it'd be cool to incorporate just a little bit of humor into the wrap. You know, just that custom touch to make it yours. Now we're doing the second side here, and this one's going to go even better because I did the other side, and now I know exactly how to lay out the panels. And now, I mean, if I had to wrap this thing again, I'd probably make it even faster and even better than this time. But that goes to say with anything. I mean, nothing trumps experience in life, and that can be applied to just about anything that you attempt, especially jobs like this. You can also see that at this stage, I've got a bunch of the rock lights installed. We've got the CFMOTO soundbar lights on and pulsing there, and the machine's starting to come together. This wrap really transforms the machine. There's not really any other modification that you can do that will give you as much of a custom touch as a customized vinyl wrap. It can really just shift the appearance of your vehicle and take a machine that's already awesome to the next level. Without this wrap, this machine would not be what it is. It's also a great way to display your personalities, display partners and sponsors like we are here in a tasteful manner. And overall, just, really take the machine and make it one of a kind. I really loved how the rear box and the wrap incorporate together here. I absolutely love the cargo box on these CFMOTOs. As I mentioned before, the fit and finish on this machine is awesome. So I was just really happy to see how it all came together. And look at this, guys. Even the interior gets wrapped. The dash has wrap, and it pulls it into inside the machine, and it really completes that custom look. So even when you're sitting inside that machine, it feels completely customized and unique. Overall, I was super happy with how this all turned out. Now that the wrap's installed, I'm shifting over to install the snorkels. Installing these was a piece of cake. The kit from CFMOTO even comes with the hole saw and everything you need to install it. It only took a few minutes and it looks really, really cool and incorporates really well into the build. When CFMOTO is manufacturing these machines, the plastics have little dimples indented into them wherever there's going to be OEM accessories or where there's hardware holes. So drilling in the right spot is a no-brainer. It's super easy. It's all pre-marked from the factory, and I think that's a really, really cool feature. Here I am reinstalling the windshield for like the 20th time and just getting all the lights aimed and secured and mounted down and getting ready to get that roof on there. And before we do all that, I wanted to mount the snorkels, but here again, I'm gonna have to take them off because now we have to remove the rear windshield and the roof to get the enclosure on. It's just part of the game sometimes, you know, when you're doing this custom stuff, you gotta take stuff, put it on and off over and over again, and you know, if you want to get it perfect, that's just what you got to do. Here I'm securing all the adhesive mounted Velcro for the soft top, and I really like the way that they mount it with the Velcro. I was a little skeptical at first, but it holds really, really well. And it makes it really easy to install and remove and reposition without drilling or mounting anything permanent into your machine. If you wanted to remove it, you could easily remove that Velcro. It's on there really good. The adhesive they use, I don't know, it's like space age adhesive, but I'm sure if you hit it with a heat gun, you could peel it off no problem. Getting this soft top on the enclosure was a little finicky. This first panel took me quite a while, just like one of the first panels on the wrap does. But once I figured out how it works and how it likes to be installed, and I repositioned some of the Velcro and got it all nice and tight and evened out, it all went together really well. And then every other panel I did just went faster. So you'll see once I do the other side, it all comes together really well. But I was really impressed with how well it fit, how secure it was, how the roof incorporated into it and held it down even better, how tight all the panels were and lined up they were on both sides. I was very happy with that. And this soft top even incorporates really, really well into the way that the snorkels mount. It all just came together like it was meant to be. And later on, pay attention to how well the front windshield lines up with the enclosure as well. It's like these companies all talked together and thought this out as if it was all supposed to work like this. Now, I know they don't necessarily all talk, but it shows you the attention to detail 3-Star UTV or 3-Star Industries is taking with their wraps. As I mentioned earlier, all these, sorry, not the wraps, but the enclosures, all these enclosures are manufactured in the United States. The windshield's manufactured in the United States. The wrap was made in the United States. The exhaust was made in Canada. Yeah, a bunch of the lighting was made in China and stuff like that, but you can't even get LED controllers and most of these LED components in North America. It all comes from overseas. So although this is a Chinese machine, there's a lot of components from all over the place here, and regardless of whether it's Chinese or not, you know, it's bought from a North American dealership, and it's supporting North American countries, and a lot of the North American machines are loaded full of offshore parts as well. So I mean, it is what it is, guys. Sometimes your budget decides on what you can do, and sometimes the industry decides on what's available. I mean, some of this stuff just isn't available locally, but whatever is, I do try to support small business, and I do try to support North American business when I can, but I have no problems in supporting European companies or other companies from overseas if they make a good product at a good price. This enclosure took a while to install, but it wasn't really that difficult. I found it went together better than I expected. I was a little overwhelmed at first. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I was skeptical. But once it was all done, it works really well, and the doors open and close great, and the zippers function well. One thing I will mention is, you know, I ended up using more Velcro than I probably needed and kind of repositioning it in areas where it didn't necessarily say in the instructions to get it as tight as I wanted it to. But once everything was bolted together and finalized, just like with the wrap, it was worth the extra effort because it all fits so nicely. And then when the roof comes on there, it just presses everything down even more. It doesn't flap in the wind or anything. I cut off these tabs here. They're for mounting the windows if you want to take them off. I didn't like the way they looked. And if I want to remove the windows in the front, I'll just put them somewhere inside the machine. There's plenty of room in this 4-seater for storage. Once I got that rear windshield remounted, I was able to put the snorkels back on. on, and then we moved over to the front to go remove that front sway bar. For the type of riding we do, I don't like the front sway bar. Removing it gives you true independent front suspension, better articulation, and just a smoother overall ride. I also took advantage at the time and I greased all the suspension components. Now we're installing that Trail Armor skid plate, and I opted to get the full skid plate with the optional front and rear A-arm guards, which I think are really worth it. This skid plate is thick and strong. It's also made in the USA, in Mississippi, by Trail Armor. These are like the best skid plates in the game, guys. They're so thick, high quality materials, and the fitment is absolutely perfect. They fit like a glove. This is the second one I've installed, and I think from now on, my go-to company for skid plates is definitely going to be Trail Armor. It's hard to compete with the fit and finish of this kit.
Let's slide that new GGB muffler in there. This is super easy. There's quite a bit of space here, actually. This GGB muffler is a lot smaller than the one we took off, the OEM one. So the only thing you really need to do is you transfer this bracket up here, the top mount there. It just comes off the old muffler with one bolt and nut, and it goes on this GGB. And then there's a hanger here that slides up in the OEM hanger. These exhaust installs, like for the slip-on systems like this, the muffler, it's just so darn easy. And then there's basically, there's two bolts with nuts there that mount to the rest of the exhaust system. It's like a legit, like, taking your time, 15 minutes from start to finish. That includes removing the old one. And then I like to get that hanger in there. Okay, just get it started and see if it lines up. On this side you can see the flanges here. The flange on the back side spins around. There's a kind of like a donut gasket on the other side of the exhaust, and this just really slips on there. You don't touch the OEM gasket, you just leave it there. So what I'll do is I'll just put these bolts in there and loosely start them, and then we'll hang the exhaust up in the hangers. The back side of the flange that you see moving there, it's got like threaded nutserts on the other side of it, so it's threaded, so you don't need a nut. You don't want to over torque these, but you do want to get them quite tight when you do your final kind of torque down. But for now, like I said, we're just going to leave them loose. I'm just getting everything lined up. Get that mounted with a bolt, and on the other side we'll slide the hanger in. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to move this hanger to the other side of that bracket, and it should give me a lot more adjustability here. Flip it around the other side there. First we're going to put it on here though. There we go. Now we have all this adjustability. I'm going to snug it up but not torque it down yet. Okay, so see, we can move that. Now we can get that main hanger in there. There we go. And see, this hanger is hitting that bracket there. So I'm going to do a little adjustment. You know, all these things are hand built on jigs. Like I said, it doesn't matter, even from bigger companies, there's still a lot of these parts are hand welded. So, you know, every machine's a little different. So see here, this isn't an issue. It's not a design flaw. Just push on that bracket, bend it a bit. There, it's not gonna do that anymore. Just tweak it. There, it's a custom setup, right? That's not gonna bind anymore. I pushed it back a bit in there. It's still sitting nicely in the hanger. Perfect. So, you know, that's not a fitment issue. Part of fitting this thing and getting it to fit snug and custom and good and conform to every machine is the fact that they're expecting you to push and bend this into place, and then once it's on there, you're not taking it off likely. It's gonna be nice and tight and lined up the way you want it. Okay, we can snug this thing up now. Bolt here for the main center hanger, and then we're done. That's it. What an easy install. That's my kind of installation right there. Wish everything was that easy.
Now that the exhaust is installed, we're going to go ahead and mount the rear bumper, which is a piece of cake. It's only like 4 bolts and takes like 5 minutes to install, which is also really nice because some of the installs on this build were very complex, but some of them were really easy. In order to install the rest of the skid plate, I first had to fit the Nerf bars on the sides here, and like I mentioned earlier, CFMOTO puts dimples in the plastic to easily let you locate where all the drill marks need to go to mount your hardware. As you can see on the bottom there, I drilled 1 extra hole. I don't know why. I'm surprised that the Nerf bars aren't utilizing that center mount. They're running such a long span without reinforcement. I have a feeling those Nerf bars are going to bend like crazy when I start smashing rocks with them. But now we're installing the last center sections of the skid plate here before we drop the machine down on the ground and install the side panels that need to be modified and cut to fit to work with the Nerf bars. Which is very easy to do with just a reciprocating saw. This plastic is very easy to cut and modify, and I'll show you what I did in a moment here.
All right, so I got the trail armor skid plate here. These are the side pieces that wrap around, but I've got the CFMOTO Nerf bars or rock sliders, tree kickers, whatever you want to call them, on the side there now. So I couldn't get those on. They were hitting here on that bar, the mounting tube, where the bolt runs through into the frame, and here. So originally I just cut 2 notches, but it wasn't lining up right. Then I cut a bigger notch out here, and it looked weird. So I ended up just cutting the whole piece off. And on this side, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm basically gonna cut this piece off here, about, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches of it, and then cut a slot in there on this side. And that's it, and they fit right up, and they look really good.
Unfortunately, I forgot to film that part when I mounted up the side pieces, but it was pretty straightforward. Just a few bolts underneath and everything lined up real nice. Here I am at a really satisfying moment of the build, just getting all the panels back on, cleaning up the last bit of wiring, vacuuming up all the debris, and getting this machine ready to get back together, getting the seats in there, and final touches. This is a really, really exciting part of the build because it took a long time to get here. I'm just wiping down the seats and I'm getting ready to do one final important install, and that is the child seat, because little Adrian will be riding with us, and that's his seat right there. He loves going out for rides, and it's so awesome to have this 4-seater and be able to share all these wicked experiences with my family.
Well guys, here we have it. Finally, I'm so pumped. This project, as I've mentioned, has fought me every single step of the way, but I can happily say we're pretty much done. Phase 1 here. Let's take a look at it. So keep in mind, this is still a work in progress. Ignore the blue springs on the shocks. After we get a few rides in, these shocks will need to be valved and sprung correctly, but first I need to get a feel for it, get the machine set up so that everything is accurate and we know what we need to do. And Steve at D3 Off-Road is gonna get us dialed in. This is gonna be the best riding CFMOTO Zforce Sport 950 out there. Legit, it's gonna be epic. So super pumped about that. But yeah, for now, ignore those. We're probably gonna end up going with the silver spring. The iBox springs, which I run on the machines, come in silver, and that'll work well with this color package. So we'll probably do that. If anything, I was considering maybe doing them red, but I know Moorhead Engineering out in the States is working on developing a set of front arms for this thing. And we'll probably be getting a set of those because, I mean, hey, come on, we got to, right? Quite obviously, no build is complete without a test ride, right? So I'm going to go test drive this thing. I'm going to put a bit more air in these tires since we're going to do road riding today. I just want to get some mileage on it. I just want to shake it down. I want to make sure everything's okay. I want to make sure there's no air in the cooling system because we did the heater install. I want to make sure the coolant levels are fine. I want to make sure it's blowing good heat and everything else is functioning like it's supposed to. We'll set up the lights. We'll get them all aimed out on the road. Here we have it. She's running. She's outside.
That's a big smile on my face. Oh boy, there's a lot of hours into this thing. Holy cow. This has gotta be the start of one of the most built Sport 4s that are gonna be out there, because we're just getting started. There's still a lot more in the works. This is just phase 1, because we gotta get out and start using this thing. We've had it way too long, and we haven't had a chance to really use it, but coming season, we're gonna be getting a lot of use out of this thing. There's gonna be a lot of exciting news coming your way, lots of cool projects, and this is just kinda part of one. So stay tuned for that. But for now, let's just go take a look at what we've got here in stage 1. I'll give you a quick walk around of where we are right now, and basically kind of like our starting block for the rest of the build. Look at that thing. Listen to it. That is a nice item. That is a nice, cool exit exhaust. This is the Trail series. It also comes in a Sport series, which is significantly louder when you're on the throttle. The idle will likely be very similar. Nice lumpy idle there. Oh, it's so good with that front windshield. That wiper. Oh yeah. Woo! Nice lighting everywhere. Let's turn on the underglow, why don't we? All right, well here we have it, guys. Let's quickly go through what we've got done here. So we got 2024 CFMOTO Zforce Sport 4. This thing is a 60-inch model. It's a Sport, like I said, and obviously right away we see we've got that sweet custom wrap. That's a camo wrap done by Christian at the Big Print Company. It turned out awesome. The coverage, the fit and finish on this wrap is unbelievable. I've never seen a wrap with coverage like this. I mean, it's as good as it gets, really. This is a hand templated wrap. It's about as detailed and as nice as you can get, especially for a body that's like this intricate. So I'm very, very happy with it. The whole process of getting the wrap designed, getting it here, and installing it was very nice. Right away you can see this thing sitting on some bigger tires. We got a set of 32 by 10 by 14 Maxxis carnivores on there. A good all-around tire that we've had good results with in the crew, and the main reason I chose these was because they are a lighter tire for their size, but they perform really well, and we've seen this many times in many conditions. So it's just a good all-around tire. They're not the best at anything, but they're pretty solid everywhere. They're sitting on a 14-inch Bullite beadlock. I believe these are the riders. We've got a set of CFMOTO Nerf bars, rock sliders, tree kickers, whatever you want to call them there. That is an OEM CFMOTO accessory that I've got through CFMOTO Canada. In the US, you can get it on the CFMOTO website or through any of your CFMOTO dealers, like Team MSC over there. Big shout out to those guys for hooking me up with this machine and a lot of the parts on it. Speaking of, we've got a Trail Armor full skid plate that's being custom modified to work with these tree kickers. This is the skid plate with the wraparound. As you can see, it wraps up the body. It's designed to run without Nerf bars, but hey, we made it work. They also do sell one that comes out flat, I believe, kind of like where we trimmed it here. You can see just kind of trim it flat there. But it worked really well. Took a little bit of work to get it to fit, but it wasn't too hard. That plastic, the UHMW, that material that you're using for the skid plates is very easy to work with. Obviously, like, this thing's enclosed, right? So we got a 3-star UTV enclosure. Big shout out to the team at 3-star UTV for hooking me up with this enclosure. And I'm gonna be completely open and unbiased with you guys here, like I usually try to be. This was one of those parts on the machine I was skeptical about. I saw some pictures online, different color machines, different layout, and I just, like, I wasn't sold that the enclosure was gonna look good, but I was wrong. Also, the price seemed cheaper than it should have been. I don't know, I've seen like OEM enclosures and how expensive they are, and I was a little worried that this might be cheap. I gotta tell you guys, I was blown away by the fit and finish of this, how well it mounted up, how easy it was. A little bit of finicking here and there to get it perfect, especially if you're OCD, but overall, what a great setup. Look at this, magnets. Look, that's awesome, guys. The fit and finish on that is great. I don't want to spend too long on this or on any one part, but yeah, really happy with this. Super nice setup. The rear is great too. Really easy. to zip and unzip. And then for these, I've actually noticed you don't even have to like unhook them here. You can actually open these doors with the window attached. You just got to unzip it most of the way. And the backs are great, because the worst thing about some of these enclosures is having to like peel that Velcro on and off and mess with these windows. A lot less messing around with this setup than I expected. I would say, just based on initial impressions, it's good. I would recommend it, but let's see how it works before we get ahead of ourselves. Let's get a few rides under our belt. Let's hit it with some branches. Let's see how it works when it's really cold and frozen up. Look at that though. Isn't that the nicest rear windshield you've ever seen on a machine like this? Heck yeah, it is. Made in the USA, right in Utah. Bent metal, off-road. Wow, awesome piece. Same guys that made the front windshield and the wiper assembly. Absolutely badass. And look at that Nove Sight light bar up there. That thing fits absolutely perfect. We got the Nove Sight pod lights here, and then we've got the Nove Sight light bar, the bottom of the bumper. Stock headlights are LED projectors on these. They're decent, but they do leave a bit to be desired, which is why we have all that upgraded lighting. It should pretty much be daylight any time of the day now with all that. That wiper looks like it's gonna work awesome. We've also got the CFMOTO OEM snorkel setup on here. One thing I would say, I wish they offered a CVT exhaust snorkel. They only offer a snorkel for the air intake for the engine and the air intake for the CVT, and the CVT exhaust stays in the stock location. So I will likely probably address that with like a custom snorkel setup. But the way it integrates and mounts to the roof and stuff like that, it's well thought out. And how they send it, the install on these is really easy. They do look really cool, and they flow really well with that enclosure actually. So that's an OEM CFMOTO accessory, just like the bumpers on the sides. We got another Nove Sight light bar for the rear there, just in case you need to see what's going on behind you. We got some Team MSC laser lights, alien lights. These are gonna be cool to see. It's supposed to emulate a whip light. You can't see it right now, but it shoots a concentrated beam of light up into the sky, and if there's any dust or mist or clouding, you see a really cool beam of light. They're really neat at night. You obviously can't see them during the day, which makes regular whips better during the day. You can probably see all that red light though. Mic tuning C3 rock lights, 10 of them on there. The GGB dual exit exhaust trail series, like I said earlier, looking sharp in there. Did a really nice job on this thing. I'm gonna have a separate video just about the shock conversion. Those are shocks off a Can-Am Maverick Sport RC that we retrofit to make work here. Thank you to PSN, Power Sports Nation, for hooking us up with those Fox shocks. Biggest power sports wrecking yard in North America. Check them out online, Power Sports Nation. Also, if you guys watch this channel, big shout out to Mike Sabo for hooking me up with the guys at PSN. They've been working together for a long time. I think I returned the favor for hooking Mike up with my friends at Bullite Wheels. Make sure you check out Mike Sabo's channel. He's been at it, grinding hard for quite a few years. He just got an X3, but he's into all sorts of power sports, dirt bikes, race quads, regular quads, and side-by-sides, as well as some car stuff. Really, really friendly, cool dude. I'm hoping we can do a collab video within the next year or so together. We've talked online for years, and his channel has exploded over the last few years. So dude, keep killing it out there. I remember when he messaged me years ago, he had just gotten an OG X3 he was trying to rebuild, and his channel was smaller than mine, and now he dwarfs me. So maybe I need to take some tips from that dude. Yeah, he's got a good personality too. He's a fun guy. So the MSC Trail Armor skid plate setup also comes with these optional A-arm guards front and rear. I gotta say to the guys at CFMOTO, whoever the heck engineered these, like, what the heck were you thinking? You gotta cut these off right here and then put that plastic cap right there. You just took your machine that probably can, your machine can fit probably like 32s for sure, but you just made that impossible because aside from the fact that you didn't curve this in, you flared it out. What is the purpose of this tube just randomly sticking in there? Is that so that it does rub on the wheel or it gets stuck on law? Like, I don't get it. It's not offering any real protection. It is simply getting in the way. And I would say it actually looks weird. It doesn't make these look better. If it made them look way better, I'd be like, okay, I get it. I'm gonna cut these here. I'm going on a test drive, so I don't have I broke my last metal reciprocating saw blade, so I'm just gonna get a new blade, trim it here, pop the plastic cap off the end here, cap it here. It's gonna look OEM. It's gonna let me not hit that at lock. Right now, at full lock, my tire is slightly touching that, and at full lock, at compression, it would probably rub pretty bad. So it's gotta be addressed. OEM CFMOTO bumper in the front. Gotta say, like the look of the bumper. Don't like the fact that it's modular. I don't like the fact that it's a multi-piece design. I know they're doing this for one reason and one reason only. It keeps costs down on shipping mostly. It lets you pack a lot more, and it lets you pretty much almost flat pack it instead of like packing this huge bumper in a box. But I would say I don't like the fact that it bolts together because it never gives you that perfect fit. This gapping here, it's killing me. Absolutely killing me. The fit and finish on this machine is absolutely mind-blowing. For what I expected, and so much better than the previous CFMOTOs. And compared to that 2017 Razor, the fit and finish on this thing is better. Now, mind you, obviously it's 7 years newer, right? You got to keep that in mind. But still, they're going the right way. But this, it's just, in my books, I don't know. I tried as hard as I could to get things to line up. No matter what I did, I was left with that gap there. I get they're also doing this because it gives a bit of leeway on the installation if something's tweaked or off. But yeah, overall I don't like that two-piece design. Polaris does it too. Can-Am does it on some of their bumpers, I believe. It's standard practice. I don't like it. The rear bumper came as one piece. Super easy install. Decent bumper. These bumpers, I would also say, don't expect much body protection out of them. They're like a single use if you impact anything, and I wouldn't be towing off them. It's quite thin wall, but they look good. They're light. They install easy. I'm not complaining. I think generally speaking, I am I am satisfied with the front, rear, and side bumpers, and I would get them again. But mostly because there is no other real options. The aftermarket hasn't caught up with those type of accessories. They will be addressing stuff like axles, A-arms, skid plates, but stuff like bumpers I feel usually comes a little bit later. I'm hoping at least a couple companies come out and play and give us some options for these. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's always custom too, right? Stuff you can't see. You can't see that there's a Stage 3 clutch kit from MSC in there. So yeah, Stage 3 trail clutch kit with Helix in there, runs great, working real good. Love the storage box. Such a nice OEM storage box that flows really well with the machine. I really feel it makes the whole machine look better. Easy access, yeah, really cool. And the wrap covers it so nicely. If you guys are looking for parts, check out my friends at teammscparts.com. Not just CFMOTO, everything you could dream of. Those guys are really expanding, and the reason they're doing that is because they're a good group of guys. That is why we work together, and they're fun to ride with. And always, big shout out to Fintrail, my friends at Power Sports Link Financing. They play a huge role behind the scenes in keeping this channel going, and the big print company. Now, stuff like the winch, the roof, that all comes factory. These full doors, they come factory on this machine. But yeah, look at this thing. This template is just unreal, guys. I can't get over how good the coverage is, how clean all the lines are. Oh, looks amazing. And you know, up close, you can see some of the lines and stuff like that. But let's go back here. Let's be real. Most of the time, this thing will be moving. Most of the time, it'll even be a little dirty. And most people will be seeing it from like a distance like here. Okay. Even the battle wagon wrap looks perfect from back here, and trust me, it is not perfect. So yeah, from here, that looks like one big sticker. It doesn't look like there's a single cut in it or anything. And from here, the AdrenalineJunkieProd and stuff like that, it looks decent. This side looks worse than the other side because of just the fact that it's text and it doesn't line up the same way. But I think it's not bad. We'll do another video where we go in depth and do a way more detailed walk around, and we can talk about some of the upgrades and why we chose the parts we did. But for now, I want to get in this thing and go take it for a rip.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this build video. I hope you found it entertaining and a bit informative as well. And I hope you like the way that the project turned out. We still got a ton of plans for this thing, like I'd mentioned in the videos, and it's gonna keep evolving throughout the season. But I think we've got a really solid start, especially for winter mode here. Let's go test it out. Let's get some mileage on it, and then we'll keep working away and improving it as we go. I think this machine has a ton of potential. I'm really excited to see what we can do with it and what kind of terrain we can conquer with it, and the fact that we get to do it together as a family, all four of us, kids in the back, wife beside me. We can all finally go out and have fun together. And we all know that the most important part of off-roading is just the community that surrounds it, and that's what makes it a ton of fun. It's the people that you go out riding with, not so much what you're in or where you're riding, it's who you're with. So now we all get to be together, and we get to enjoy the terrain together and the excitement and the adventures and the memories, and that's why we do it. So big shout out to all you guys for the support and watching these videos. Couldn't do it without you. Make sure you check out the Shopify store. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram. Stay tuned, we got a ton of stuff coming. We got the AdrenalineJunkieProd Jamboree, the first annual AJP event at Minden Off-Road Park this June. I'll put all the info here, and all the other info and the details will be on the website AdrenalineJunkieProd.com, www.AdrenalineJunkieProd.com. All the event info is there. Check it out. If you're anywhere around us, make sure you come to the event. It's going to be a killer time, and I hope to see you guys out there. Anyways, ride safe, and we'll see you in the next video.